So pet ownership is a thing that could not be more different in Norway. And that was a difference that Norwegian school couldn't have prepared me for. And also, I would have assumed that pet owning countries kind of had the same norms, but it's completely different in Norway. So there's endless number of ways I could describe this difference, but I think I'll just give a few examples. One could say in general that Norwegians take a lot more responsibility for pet ownership. I don't like terms like that because I think they imply judgment, and I don't think cultural analysis benefits from a judgmental viewpoint. But I will say that in America, you just get a pet. You just have one. In Norway, for instance, we've never had to pay for a pet sitter because we have so many friends that would like a pet but would not dare take on the responsibility full time, that getting to watch my dog for a weekend is like a pet vacation. They love it. Whereas in America, people just get pets. Like they don't really consider it that much. Of course, these are generalizations. Of course, there's extremes in both ways. But in general, that's the norm that I've noticed, considering myself a pretty average pet owner, neither like the most amazing nor the worst. So what does this look like? What does it mean? Pets, you would not see pets just kept outside in Norway. And in America, I mean, even if it's like this cold outside, you see people begging, like, don't leave your dog out in the freezing cold all night. Like, they can die too. And in Norway, I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen a dog that just stays outside all day. That's just not the way. Now, the other side of that is really interesting, actually. Because in America, if you had somebody that kept their dog inside all day while they went to work, that dog would be in a crate, or in Norwegian, the word is bur. And in fact, I think many Americans keep their dogs in crates way too much. We kind of lose the understanding that this is a trend. When I was growing up, dog crates were not like a thing that most people did, even in America. But now people just assume that that's the way dogs have always been kept. And I would say that many Americans kennel their dogs way too long. You see public awareness campaigns of people saying like 13 hours while you're at work is way too long for a dog to be in a crate, which means that there are many people in America keeping their dogs in crates for 12 to 13 hours a day that need to be informed. In Norway, I've almost seen the opposite. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anybody keep their dog in a crate here unless it's for travel. Which is another thing, actually. In America, dogs just like ride freely in the car. They can jump all around. They can hang their heads out the window. You see it all the time. And actually, that's really unsafe. And I never thought about it until we moved here. And one of my beloved dog sitter friends was like, you cannot just have your dog out in the car. Like, she has to be in a secure crate. So if the car crashed, she's safer. It's like, yeah, that makes total sense. So like, I've actually only ever seen bur used here when the dog is needing to be safe in a car, but not just like kept in a crate during the day. And I've actually noticed debates about this on pet ownership forums. Like, if you get Norwegian people there, then they'll be arguing often against crates and not really understanding why Americans do that so much. And Americans think it's very shocking that Norwegians never use crates in the house. And the last example I'll give, this might not sound like it has to do with being responsible, but it's kind of interesting. In America, we basically force anybody who adopts a puppy, like a stray puppy. It's a little bit different if you get them from a breeder. Not so much. They want those dogs neutered. Actually, breeders want them neutered too, because they don't want you to have breeding rights to their like DNA. And then if you get a stray dog, they don't want them having more puppies. So you pretty much force sterilization of all pets before you can get them. And in Norway, that is just not done unless there's a medical reason you can argue. The thought is like, why would you like intervene in that dog that way? Now, here's how it has to do with responsibility, because in spite of the fact that we're sterilizing most every pet we can get our hands on in America, and we're not doing that in Norway, America has stray animals everywhere. There are some, of course, we have a bigger population, but I think there's a difference as well in attitudes towards animals and pet ownership. Like, there are just animals all over the streets. and not in Norway. I've never personally seen a stray dog in Norway. Now, cat ownership, everybody will come in the comments saying this. Cats in Norway needs to get a little bit more with the times on. They're not as strict about cats and they don't protect them as well. The other caveat I should make is that even within America, stray animal populations correlates with poverty. So in areas where there's more poverty, I see that more, and we can't leave that out of the equation, but it's still a really interesting difference in terms of neutering and then the effect that it does or doesn't have.